is always, if it's cold in Florida, I know it's cold wherever you are. It is really cold. Unusually cold day in Florida today, and we have a baseball game tonight. So that should be interesting. Now I'm waiting for my co-host. Oh, I see her. I see you, Gloria. Got you, making you a co-host. So as you're hopping on, just drop in the chats where you are, in the chat where you're from. Gloria and I are both from Florida, and I told him, Gloria, if it's cold here, I know it's cold everywhere else. Is it cold where you are, Gloria? I assume maybe even cold there?
It's pretty warm. It's getting cold though. It's dropping, but it's pretty warm.
Yeah.
Warm for us.
It rained here yesterday and then got rain. Yeah, it's cold here. So it's coming. All right. Well, welcome everyone. I told him I was running a minute late, and I'm sorry, my project. I got a call right now. Right. And my internet has been a little fidgety lately, but we're going to go ahead and get started. And first and foremost, I want to introduce my co-host. It's Miss Gloria today. And I want to thank you, Gloria, for taking time out of your day, because you all, she's 90 and she's 9 orders away. 9 orders. So she's taking time out of her day to hop on Power Hour with us. So thank you, Gloria, for taking time out of your day to hop on. I'm going to tell you a little bit of history about Gloria and why I wanted to have her on the call. And then I'm going to turn it over to her and let her share her story. So I asked Gloria to be on the call because she's kind of had she's always been a rock star recruiter, amazing recruiter. She's a rock star. But she had kind of like a shift in her business, and she had, anyhow, I think I'll just let her tell the story. She's got a great story, and then I'm going to ask her a few questions and have her share a few things. But I'm going to start with your story. Gloria, tell us how you got involved and what it looked like when you first started at True Vision Health.
Okay, well, when I first started, of course, I had just had my second back surgery. I had gained 45 pounds. Through that process, I was in bed rest for about 8 months. Once I had the surgery and I was able to move around, I was scared to going back to working out just because of the back surgery. So then, of course, I see an ad on Facebook. I answered it, and my sponsor added me to the group. And of course, I thought, there's no way that this is even a possibility, that these results aren't what they say they are. It took me 2 weeks, really 2 weeks, to go ahead and order a core kit. And that was in December of 2016, towards the end. I got my products, and like everyone else, and I'm sure you get a lot of customers this way, I took it for about a week, gave up because I had a terrible detox with a headache, sat on it till March. So in March, I decided full force. My husband says to me, Gloria, you're getting these packages and they're just piling up. What are you going to do with these things? And I was like, I don't know. I guess I better start taking them. So I reached out again to my upline and told them, okay, I'm ready to start this again. What do I do? And so once he gave me instructions of what to do, I dropped very, very quickly. I went 10 pounds in 10 days, 17 pounds in my first month. But then I was like, what am I doing with all these packages? Because I'm still on auto ship. I'm getting them and not knowing what to do with them. And he says, well, why don't you sell them? Well, okay, I really don't want to do that. But, I don't want to get into the business piece. And the reason I didn't want to get into the business piece was because I had always been introduced to pyramid schemes, and really I was. And I was in a lot of direct sales. I've done jewelry, home interior, you name it, I probably did it. And I was so burned out in that area. And I was like, I don't want to do the business piece of it. I just want to take the product and that's it. So once I started posting in my wall of how quickly I was losing weight, but not indicating what I was taking, I really wasn't sharing with family and friends the product I was taking. So when that happened, I had product in hand. So I went ahead and, started selling the sleeves like my sponsor had told me. And come May of that year, he reached out to me and said, "Hey, are you interested in doing the business?" And I clearly said, "No, I don't want to do it." It was the week of our first anniversary with my husband. So I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do the business piece of it. Well, through that week of my anniversary, he messaged me and said, "Hey, congratulations, you're a managing associate." I'm like, how in the world? Well, all I did was with my friends, they asked me, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I'm just taking these 2 pills, popping them. I'm losing weight. Here's my link." I was just sending my links to everyone. Didn't know what I was doing. Honestly, didn't know. I had never logged into my back office. I had many there, had no idea how to use it, what to do. Again, I didn't never log into my account again once I ordered the first time. Well, after a while of just sharing the link here and there, come July of 2017, I decided, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to go ahead and work it. I was only working part-time because of the back surgery. So I was helping my husband at the warehouse. And I figured, well, what a great way to just kill time. And I started loving the product, started loving what it's doing to some of my family members and how some of them came off of high blood pressure and so forth. So from July to November, I went from a senior to a 1-star. But still had the mindset of not really wanting to or caring to rank. It was more of just helping people, wanting to help people, really not focusing on the ranking piece of it, if that makes sense. So, and then at the time, I didn't know a lot of DMOs of what I should be doing. I didn't know a lot of follow-ups. I didn't know any of that. It was just selling and kind of just going with it. My mindset kind of changed, and this past summit, I went with a whole total mindset. My mindset was, if I am going to invest in this business and attend summits, I've been going to the events ever since I started, but never with the mindset of growing, if that makes sense. So this year in August, I made it a point to really go out of my comfort zone, talking to new people, trying to get ideas of how to grow in the business. What am I doing? And quite honestly, I started comparing myself, my journey towards other associates that are now 2-star, 3-star, 4-star that started at the same time frame I did. So the comparison was, okay, what are they doing that I'm not doing? And I know I can recruit, because I mean, I can recruit anywhere from 10 to sometimes 50 people a month, but the retention is not there. I was not taught how to follow up. I was not taught how to have a DMO or what things I should be doing to start building that residual income. Now that's when the light hit, was the residual income. I connected with Amy. She had a summit ticket for St. Louis, so I connected with her, and through the process, I built such an awesome relationship with her, and I'm so grateful for her. I met her, even though through a couple months through Facebook, you know them, you're friends with them, but not personally know them, if that makes sense.
Right.
So in August, I met her in St. Louis. I connected with her, chatted with her, hung out with her team, and her team is amazing. They all lock arms and they're just all pushing forward, which is awesome. So through them, through their conversations, through her team from the 1-star, 2-star managing associates, so forth, they all said the same thing. It was the follow-up system. If we don't have a follow-up system, how do we connect and build the relationships with our customers to ensure that they're going to continue taking the product? So then, and of course, I've started attending a lot of the power hours, a lot of, people say there's not enough training, and that gets me really, really upset, because these power hours, even though a lot of them repeat the same thing, but there's a reason why they're all saying the same thing, because it's working. But here and there, you'll get an idea. It's one or two different things, and you're like, oh, well, I should try that. I am not a paper person. I love Excel. So, who was it? Richie, I believe, has said in one of the trainings, or one of the trainings I've heard him speak, said he had a spreadsheet and what he did to start that spreadsheet. So then I was like, oh, I can do that. So of course, I couldn't start the 2 years back that I had been selling to all these people. So I was like, let me just take it easy, do the 90 days, move forward. And as people are reactivating, then I'll just add them to that spreadsheet. So that is my follow-up spreadsheet. That is how I follow up with them every day. I get into my spreadsheet, find out when they ordered, when I'm going to follow up on them, and keep it more consistent in building that relationship with them.
That's awesome. So I want to point something out to everyone really quick, because we talked about Amy. The most important thing I want to point out here is Amy is not your upline. She's a sideline. She is someone you connected with, you locked arms with. She brought you in. She treated you just like everyone else. And I think that happens a lot in this company. So that's going to be my encouragement to people. Maybe you don't have a very active upline. Maybe your upline's not involved at all. There's some people that they just have no one. There are plenty of people that you can lock arms with and that will accept. I don't know anybody that doesn't, for the most part. So I want to just really focus on that. And you found your tribe, Gloria. That's when I saw the biggest difference in you. It's like when you found them. And another thing you pointed out that I want to point out to other people is you started looking at people that were, 1 or 2 or 3 ranks ahead of you, right? So I think that's really important. And I want to encourage you all, everyone that's on the call, don't go to like a 7 or 8 star. Yeah, that's great. And maybe that's where you want to be one day, but go to maybe just the next level, or maybe 2 levels up, and find out, because their day and they're kind of where they're at right now in their business is a lot closer than, say, someone that's a 7 or 8 star. Because now that I'm a 7 star, I'm not doing things I was doing as a 1 star. My day is completely different as to what, building my business looks like every day. So I love that. I love the idea of connecting. So that's going to be everyone's kind of homework. I want you to find someone to connect with that's just 1 or 2 ranks ahead of you. Instead of, yes, we want to shoot for the stars, but getting involved and talking to and locking arms with someone that's 1 or 2 ranks ahead. I think that's really important. And locking arms with people that you work well with. You and Amy and her team, she's amazing. Can't say enough great things about her entire team. And they work together, and you work well with them. And that's where you found that. So I want to talk a little bit. I'm going to back up a little bit, because we talked a little bit about this at Summit. Let's talk about a group page versus a group chat, and kind of what you've seen come of that, because I think this is really important.
Yes. Well, in August and Summit, that was one of the things that Amy and her team had recommended that I do. It builds more relationship one-on-one with your associates. So I went ahead and created the chat with just a little bit of associates that I had, and build that relationship. Now that chat is not for drama based. It's more for giving them the information as it's coming up, Zooms, trainings, anything that's occurring, or how you're running your page and what you would like for them to do, tasks. That's another thing, is that I follow suit from whatever Amy was so generous of adding me to her chat and just following suit. And I've grown with her team. And let me tell you, when her team is on fire, it gets me on fire, in hopes that I can get my team on fire. But, and with that being said, you can't make your team do anything. And I've always said this to them, and this is the saying I've always had, is you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink it. So, and with that being said, don't get upset at your team because they are not doing what you're doing. You know what? It's their business. If they want to grow, they're going to grow. I had probably the same mindset that they did at the beginning, where it was like, I just want to make a couple dollars. I don't really care to rank. I don't really care to do any of that. So, I have to respect that. But within that chat, it's just daily giving them motivation, inspiration, tasks that tasks that you are doing so they can see what you're doing so they can try to follow suit, if that makes sense. I'm giving them ideas of what to do.
Right. And something else you're good at in there is recognition and one-on-one
Yes.
recognition. I'm in her group chat. She has me in there. I appreciate that. I see everything that's going on. She gives recognition. If one of her, distributors signs someone new, she, clap, clap, good job, recognizing them amongst their peers in that group chat. And I think that's motivating, encouraging, and inspiring. And I think it also, motivates the ones that maybe didn't sign somebody. To be honest, it shows them like, hey, I can do this. There's other people doing this. And Gloria is a rock star. I mean, like I said, she's 9 away from Club 90. So, just getting in there, I've seen, great things come of her chat. So that's an encouragement I want to give you all. Group pages are great. I'm not saying don't have a group page, but I'm telling you, I've seen it with several other groups, much more efficient group chats, as long as you can keep them on task, because it is easy sometimes when you're in a group chat to get off on other things. But I mean, Gloria keeps it very, congratulations, here's what to do, here's some inspiration, here's where I'm at, here's a call. I mean, she does a great job running that chat. So I just wanted to take a minute and talk a little bit about that and kind of how you saw things going once you started that chat. Now, do you have everyone in that chat, or just people that want to work the business, or how did you start the chat?
Just the chat is solely for working associates, and we do clean house every 6 months if they are not active in the group or they are not active in purchasing the product. Now, I have one associate that I've been talking to. She's very active in the group, but hasn't purchased a product in 3 months. So it's just trying to figure out if it's a financial issue, how can I help her to start taking her products again. I mean, she was very successful in her weight loss, but she's out there. She's posting on her wall. She's posting in the group. So, I can't just pull her out because she's not taking or being able to purchase a product. She's slowly working her way to purchase that product. But yes, it's just solely working associates. If they are interested in working the business, it's like everything. You have a 90-day probation. Within the 90 days, I work with them one-on-one, not necessarily in that chat, but one-on-one, teaching them how to post, where to find the post. I've also started creating videos using an app, which I totally love, and I kind of went out of board with it. But anyways, I started creating videos where it's tools for them. Not necessarily, some people don't like to read, and I figured if I do little tutorial tools on how to navigate the group page, how to navigate the training page, how to look for groups, Facebook market groups, how to post in those Facebook market groups. So in my training page, I use the topics option, and the topics has training videos. So it tells them if they're learning how to use tools, there's a videos for tools, there's a videos in how to navigate the group page, how to look for who added the customer to the group page. So it's just being more intentional and making sure that they had the tools that I didn't have when I first started. Now it's up to them if they want to use those tools to build their organization.
Do you know?
But yes, the chat is just solely associates.
Do you know the name of the app off the top of your head? Somebody's asking in the chat.
Yes, and I actually, Amy added me to a mastermind group that Angel oversees, and that's where I found the app, and it's amazing. I love it. It's called X Recorder.
X Recorder, like the letter X?
Yes,
X.
letter X.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to put that in the chat for everyone. And it's an app.
Yes.
Thank you. And I think what I love about that is, like you pointed out, you're giving them the tools. What they do with it, that's on them. But
Yeah.
I think there's something satisfying knowing, like, I've done my job. And I think the best way, I've been doing this almost a long time now, 8-9 years full time. And to me, I use it as a parenting strategy too. I did not have the best parents, so it made me want to be a better parent. So I think sometimes in the instance where maybe you don't have the best upline or the best tools or the best support, I think it encourages you to be a better upline leader. You know, like I hate to say that we learned the hard way, but I think it's a great tool and inspiration. So for anyone that's struggling with like having an upline that's not active, or you're mad that your upline doesn't do anything, or you're upset, like just be the upline you want to be. I think that's another thing I can take away from Gloria is she stepped up to the plate. She's like, I'm not going to complain about what my upline doesn't do. I'm not going to complain about what my sponsor doesn't do. I'm not going to complain about what I don't have. I'm just going to go create what I need. So, and there's many of you that have done that too. And I just want to applaud you for that, Gloria, because you've done such a great job and you do such a great example as to you walk the walk. You're another one that definitely doesn't just talk about it. You walk the walk. So I just want to congratulate you on that and just say how much I appreciate that. And I see that, and I see her, you guys, she works her butt off. So it's really cool getting to see her organization grow, and she's found her tribe, and she's found what works for her team, and she's continuing to keep working for that. So I love that. Let's talk a little bit about your group, your customer group. What does that look like? Do you have any requirements? You know, what does a day in the life of that group look like?
Within the group, the requirements are fairly simple. Post twice a day, comment at least on 5 posts with using 5 words or more. I mean, realistically, you can't make anyone comment on so many posts or spend so much time in that group. So I encourage them to schedule posts within the group. So if you have a busy schedule, I have 2 jobs. I have 3 kids at home. I do sports. I mean, my workload is, huh?
She's a rock star, and she's 9 away from Club 90. Hello, like she has 2 jobs and 3 kids. I need everyone to focus on that for a minute.
Yeah, 3 kids, and let me count 4 adult kids. So all in their 20s and over, but you know, they don't live here. It's just my younger kids. But I do have 2 jobs, and on top of that, those are 48-hour weeks, with including both jobs, because they're both part-time. I work at a shelter in Immokalee, so I work that part-time, and then it's a women's abuse shelter with children. So now we're getting ready to open a new facility. So I was offered a position where it's 12-hour shifts 3 days a week, which is fine because it still gives me the flexibility to work my other part-time job. Now keep in mind, the other part-time job, my husband is my supervisor. So if I say I'm not going in, there's not a big deal. But so that's just going to bring more to the load. And then I do work. True Vision is really my full-time job. The other 2 jobs is just how I'm going to use my time, utilize my time through the day. So why not make extra money, right? You know, so it's just making sure that I'm not cutting myself short from what I'm really trying to accomplish. So I schedule, they can schedule their posts throughout the day. They can comment throughout the day. It's just, the other thing, you know, one of the things that I've also learned is if your page is constantly active every hour, yes, it's coming on their newsfeed, yes, it's, you know, they're seeing it, but you're also going to start losing people from that group because they don't want to see too much of it. So one of the things that I tell them to post is encouraging words, recipes, exercise tips. You know, what is the purpose of having a group if we're not giving those tips to these to our customers? And that's the reason why they're in the group, is they're trying to lose the weight, but if we're not giving them those additional tips, we're not going to be successful in that area. So you know, my team is small, my group is small, but it's well worth it, and it's working. It's a lot of work. I know I hear a lot of stories about people not wanting to help work the page, but if you work your own page, you're working it twice as hard. So if you're in a big group, just comment, whatever the regulations are in that group. It's just so much easier than to actually managing your own page. I did that just because I saw my uplines page dying, and I needed to, I was doing it for something else. I needed to make sure that me and my team had something that was going to work for us, and just having tools for them and making sure that you are doing that professional development for yourself, so that way you can share it with your team. Either if they use it or not, that, you know, that's on them, but you're doing your part to grow your organization.
It's just doing what it wants today. I'm moving.
Yeah.
Sorry, had to move to the other room. I have 2 different Wi-Fi boxes. But I think that's really important. And I want to take a minute. I want to pause just really quick on this group situation. So let's talk a little bit about this. There are certain situations, and I would say yours was one of them, where you're like, okay, I need to go start my own group. Okay. But I want to point out what Gloria said. And I have people say this to me all the time, like, I just want to go start my own group. It's a lot of work, and you're starting at 0. You're starting at 0 people. You're starting all over again. So my encouragement is, if at all possible, if you can make whatever group you're in, and again, Gloria's story, totally justifiable. If you can make it work, I encourage you to make it work.
Yes.
The overall morale of that page, your customers, everyone else's customers, get involved. If you guys are not involved in your own group page, whichever one you use, getting involved in there every single day is for the better of your business. It's going to pop back up, you know. The engagements are hugely important. So I think that's, I just wanted to kind of emphasize that a little bit.
Yeah.
Now let's talk a little bit about what your follow-up process looks like. We know you have the spreadsheet. Take us through a day of Gloria. Just give us a day of what your day looks like.
Okay, so what I do through my day is, of course, I wake up and make sure that I have time for myself. I read some scripture. You know, it's more about getting yourself right. If you are not getting yourself right, how do you help others get themselves right, or helping them, inspire them, and so forth? So typically I'll take about 20-30 minutes to do that, and I'm still in bed. Then I'll start scheduling my posts through the day, especially if I'm working at the shelter. So then my follow-up system comes where I'm going onto my spreadsheet, and I start from, so say today is the 26th. So I'll go through it, and of course I like the data sort, so it's so much easier. So I've already have my dates sorted from when I'm following up, and then so everybody I'm supposed to follow up on the 26th pops up, and the spreadsheet has their account name and Facebook name, because as you know, some accounts do not match their Facebook. Like, I'm one of those. I'm Gloria Torres with True Vision, but Facebook has Gloria Torres Kennedy. Now, I'm married. I just haven't changed my last name. That's okay. 23 years with an ex-abusive husband. I want my name for a little while. So then
You deserve it.
And then I also purchased this calendar with Kayleen. And so this week I wrote everything down, just because I'm trying to hit Club 90. This month I needed 34 new enrollments myself. I think it was 34, maybe a little bit more. And just because my team is not anywhere near to ranking, so forth. So I know that I have to push those sales if I want to go to Club 90. Last time I missed it by three guys. So, but
not happening this time.
No, I'm hoping not. But you know what? It's okay. It gave me a push. It gave me something to push forward.
Right?
What's that?
It's a win either way. I mean,
yeah, it's a win either way. So I have who I'm going to reach out right now. So that's what I've been doing all day today. I've sent out over 30 links in the past 2 or 3 days, and now I'm just following up. And as I'm chatting with you guys, I have a few text messages and messages asking me
Sorry,
for,
I'm trying to get to Club 90. I'll get to y'all in a minute.
yeah, let me finish here and then go here. But so it's just, I do follow up. Tuesdays is my big day that I follow up with as much as I can. And then I'll do my lunch. I don't socialize with coworkers. They already know it. And there's a reason for that. It's a long story, won't go into it. But I don't socialize with my coworkers during my lunch break. That's when I take the opportunity to answer all my messages, because I feel that if I'm working for somebody, I'm going to give them 100% full. I'm not going to take time away from the time I'm getting paid to do the job. So during my breaks is when I'll answer messages, or if I'm not with a participant, if as long as time allows me to, I will answer. But most of my time is during lunchtime that I will do a lot of my follow-up. I'll have my list ready, and I'm just like not answering messages and just sending my messages as quick as I can to try to.
You're not scrolling. You're not, I mean, you have a
No.
mission. Let's talk about distractions sometimes.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I've seen a lot of associates that it's great to be active. It's great to post in other groups. That's amazing. That's awesome. But if it's taking away from you from doing what you should be doing and why you actually said you wanted to start the business, then you're looking like you're productive, but you're not productive.
I think
You're just looking busy.
This is so important, you guys. Like, it's fine to be in 5,482 group pages, right? But
yes.
At the end of the day, what is making you money and building your business? Your customer page and in your chat, talking to your prospects, follow up, checking in, whatever that looks like. And I know Gloria is super laser focused. You're not going to see her scrolling through Facebook. Like, you're not going to see her commenting on every post. And if that's something you thoroughly enjoy, cool, you keep doing that. But I'm telling you, from watching her, she is laser focused. She has that time block. She knows what she's doing in that time. She knows who she's talking to in that time. And then she's getting her butt back to work, So I think that's hugely important to point out, because I know you do that.
And a lot of times when I join the power hours, when it's allowing me to on time-wise, I'll do the tasks with them all over again. Even though I did them in the morning or I said my birthday wishes, I'll sit there in that time and do it all over again. If I cannot sit there and do it on time, I'm actually listening to it and jotting it in my head, especially if there's a new idea. Just like the other day, she talked about the vendors event. Oh my gosh, my brain was spinning. Why? Because that's one of the things I'm getting out of my comfort zone in doing. So I have one in March and one in April that I'm going to do a vendors event, and I'm partnering up with other consultants, associates, whatever they sell. If it's jewelry, I'm like, hey, I'll go pay that booth with you, and we'll split the booth cost, and just finding it more effective. But going back to being active in other groups, if you are being active, and I'm just going to say it, if you are being active in other people's groups and not your own group, what good does that do? The people you've added to that group, if you are not commenting, if you are not being active in that group, those people are not seeing those notifications. They're not seeing you active in the group. I mean, I've had some say, well, I don't see so-and-so in your page. Is she still an associate? And I was like, well, hold up, let me find out. And I'll say, and I'll ask them, have they followed up with you? Have they contacted you? Have they given you the information? No. I sent those screenshots to that associate and said, okay, what's up with this? One of my biggest things is customer service. And if you're not giving,
customer is never going to come back. They're going to go look for someone new. And people get so caught up on, that's my customer. No. If you're not taking care of that customer, if they don't know they are your customer, then they are not your customer. I posted a screenshot of this the other day. There was a lady that had been ordering since August. She's been ordering since August, consistently since August. Had no idea who her coach was, had no idea who her upline was, none. And people want to know why their business isn't growing, guys. I mean, I was just like, wow.
Yeah. So for like example that you said that, just yesterday I had someone order, I guess on a link that I posted, or I don't know how they got my link and how they placed that order. So I was looking for her on my friends list, couldn't find her. I was looking for her in the group, couldn't find her. And I'm like, okay, I have no idea who this person is. So of course I'm waiting for her to finalize her order, because now we get 2 notifications when they create the account and when they order. So I was waiting for her to complete her order so I can find out at least her phone number, an email, somewhere to, by the way, Alyssa, corporate needs to add that phone number back, because it doesn't show. So I sent her an email. I introduced myself to her and I sent her an email on how to take the products. My contact information is in there. I'm hoping she reaches out to me, but if she doesn't, I can't do anything.
Right.
But I will be following up on her in 2 days with another email, making sure she received her product with more information on how to take the product. So I will be doing my part through email. She gets it, if she reads it, she reads it. If not, I made that attempt to connect with her. But with that being said, what I've learned, you guys, and I've learned, and not the hard way, because my mindset was not set to ranking. It was not set for the residual income. It was not set for any of that. I mean, I'm the only one to blame for that, because I was set, I just want to make a couple dollars and that's it. But then I started seeing other people ranking. I was like, okay, I'm ready for this. I'm ready to learn more. I'm ready to find the tools that I need to grow myself. If I can't grow myself, I can't grow a team. And I've learned that you can only rank up so much on your own, and it's probably that 1 star. And after that 1 star, you do need that team, because I did that 1 star all by myself. At the time we had the all-in package, and I would just say, do the all-in, not knowing that was the auto ship one. But let me tell you, that's how it got me there. And what I've noticed since I've changed my mindset, since I started following up, since I started doing power hours, since I started joining other chats that are beneficial to me, doing rank makers, that's where I learned that for you and your organization to grow is to have these tools, and not so much reading, but tools is little videos where they can just watch it. For instance, each step is a small little video that you can just forward to them. This is how you do tools. This is how you join the groups and so forth. So I was just taking those notes, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take these and I'm going to just keep going with that and learning and growing. And it's in your time, guys. And I've always said this, and I will always say this, it may not be my time. God only knows why. And when it's God's timing, then it's my timing. And I'm a strong believer with that. And maybe he's working something in me before he puts me into that 2 star that I'm trying to go for, and again, all the changes I've made are because of attending and doing. And I know some of it is repetitive and you don't want to hear the same thing, but let me tell you, each one of them say 2 to 3 different things that may work for you. And ever since then, my retention is starting to go up. I'm not running around in circles where I'm still trying to get the 90. I'm now above that 90 mark. And let me tell you, I get excited, even if it's 5 more than last month. You know what? It's 5 more than last month that, I got to keep going. And just keep encouraging your team and keep bringing those tools for your team so they can grow.
I love that. And something you pointed out is you've kept going. I know no one wants to hear this. No one wants to hear this, because you've had a shitty 6 months, right? You don't want to keep going. You want to quit. Gloria is where she is because she didn't quit when she felt like quitting. Am I right or am I wrong? Like
that is correct. There was a lot of times when we went to the river.
Yes,
I was so discouraged, and I met some of Amy's teams there, and I was just telling her how frustrated I was, how I just wanted to say, you know what, I'm just done. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just gonna take my product just because I feel good and just help whoever I have now and not go any further. But then, you know, just changing my mindset in August is going to Summit and having basically a mission. And I had told my husband this. I said, okay, I'm going to go to Summit, but with a different mindset, a mindset of connecting with people, a mindset of learning, being teachable. That is another thing, is being coachable. Is if you come with a mindset of, I know how to do this and I know how to do that. Yes, okay, you know how to do those things, but there's other things that you could pick up. MLM is so much different than direct sales, or than those pyramid schemes that I got into because of family members. And you know, I have not approached any of my family members because I don't want them to think that I'm just approaching them to get them to do the business. I'm going in 3 years in March, and I'm just now having family members ask me, okay, we see that you're doing this. I mean, honestly, I purchased a new car with the funds that I make from True Vision pays for my car. The funds that I make from True Vision pays for my vacations, just because financially we have so much going on. I mean, if you follow me, I'm still waiting for my kitchen, Alyssa. It hasn't gotten done. And it's been 8 months. So, you know, I'm hoping that my kitchen gets done soon, but that's a project that my husband and I took on, because financially we can't afford someone to come in and do that for us. So we're doing it on our own. We're doing the floors on our own. All the remodeling is on our own. But my point to this is, I didn't give up because there's certain things in life that I want my kids to experience. And with True Vision has given me that opportunity to give that to my children. The possibility of taking my kids camping in the mountain wouldn't be possible, because you think about it, a cabin is like $2,000 for 8 days. And I was able to do that. We were able to book it, and we'll be taking the kids camping for 8 days in the mountains, you know. And I've won several trips through my upline, participating in his group. And it's really not about that. It's about blessing other people. I mean, I know Alyssa has contests all the time. I participate, and I know there's a lot of associates that don't participate. But the only reason I participate is because that extra dollar is a blessing to whoever wins it.
Right.
And I encourage you.
It's not just about you winning. It's going to help somebody.
Yes. And I encourage you to go in there, screenshot, just post them. You know what? If you won, you won. If you didn't, you helped bless somebody else that needed that money, because there's a reason why that person wins that money. And trust me, I've had my share. I've won my share with Alyssa and my upline. I've won quite a bit. So, you know, I only do it so someone else will get blessed. So someone else would enjoy those blessings and see how great the True family is. And I'm very, very grateful for a lot of sidelines associates. They don't benefit from me. They don't make 1 cent from me, but yet they spend time on me.
And I think that's so true in this company. I mean, just generally speaking, I see, because I've been with another company before, and it didn't work like this. Like, we all genuinely, most people I know, if you ask for help, they're going to help you and, you know, give you what they can and do what they, and I know that has literally changed your business, Gloria, like just connecting with other people and finding your tribe and, you know, your mindset. And I think what's really important is she talked about going to Summit with an intention. And I got to have lunch with her when we were at Summit, and she went laser freaking focused, and she came out of there with a mission. So I encourage you all, if you are going to Summit this year, start preparing your mind, start preparing yourself. Like, what is this going to be like? Whatever event you're going to, Gloria shows up at almost every event that I know of that works for her schedule. She shows up, even if it's the same thing, the same people. There's something about being with those people who get what you get and they're doing what you're doing. You'll walk out of there inspired. I've been doing this almost same company for almost 6 years now. Something magical about being with your people who get this business and they have the same goals and the same ideas. So showing up, if we could just the importance of events and getting there and calls and just every opportunity. There's so many opportunities we have. Like you said, Power Hour is one of them. We have different people on. Like you said, some of it is the same thing over and over, but it's someone's going to come or they're going to say it a little bit different, or it's going to click. Like I was on the other day and Ashley talked about doing birthdays the day after. Like she says, hey, sorry I missed out on your birthday. Happy belated birthday. You know, that's a great idea. You
Those
know,
are better.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. Or using the memory tab, going to the memory tab to follow up and say, who did I become friends with? Oh, let me follow. It's a great, I mean, there's just some really good ideas. And like you said, we talk a lot about, oh, I don't have any training. I need more help. You guys, there are tools at your fingers. The internet is free. YouTube, these Power Hours free, group training calls free, corporate page free. I mean, we have a lot of free tools. It's just putting them into play. And I think that's hugely important. And again, you've done a great job. I just want to quickly ask you this, because I see this a lot, Gloria. What if you follow up with someone and you don't get an answer? What do you do after that?
If I don't get an answer or a response from them, I still do my thing. If they replied and I still had to follow up on them the next week, I still follow up on them for that first month. After that first month, then I'll just follow up once a month and then hopes that they'll reply. Now, I've gotten some that have messaged me recently. I'm so sorry, I've seen your messages. I meant to reply and I just totally forgot about it, you know, and of course I've gotten to joking around with them and say, look, girl, upon our conversation, you said for me to follow up. I was doing my thing and I heard nothing. So, you know, they're ready to get started again with other tips and things like that. But I just still do my thing. If they ordered, I follow up on the days that I told them I was going to follow up. The next month, I still follow up, especially if they're still purchasing the product, I follow up and I move on. You know, it's just a quick message and then I move on. And then I also start commenting on their wall, on their post, just so they know that I'm there, and not necessarily for the business, but I'm just there. I had one that has been going through some issues with her son, and I have 20 years of education working with special needs kids. So I reached out to her and I said, hey, you know, what's going on? I saw your post about your son, and I gave her a little spiel about my experience, what I have, in hopes of giving her some tips and just reaching out to them. And it's not necessarily about the business. It's just doing my part as a follow-up, but then still doing my part as building that relationship beyond the business piece.
Being genuine, because that's how we keep them around. Because I mean, I see this happen all the time. I can't go into a whole lot of details, but I'm doing a book with Rob Sperry. I'm doing part of a book with Rob Sperry, and I've kind of worked on my first draft. But it's sometimes I think we recruit people that we have no business recruiting. We may get lucky and get them to buy one time, but if we haven't built that relationship or don't have some sort of connection or some commonality with them, they're probably not going to be back. And like I said, my mindset 5 or 6 years ago, 4 years ago was, yeah, that's your customer. But you guys, if your customer isn't happy and they don't know you're their customer, then they aren't really your customer. You know what I mean? Like, to me, we aren't doing them a justice if we aren't taking care of them. I mean, you can say that's your customer all day long, but if you're not taking care of them, are they really your customer? You know? And I think being in group pages, we get that a lot, right? Or there's some people that are in multiple group pages. They're like, that's my customer. Like, that's my customer mentality. If you're making a connection with them and you're investing in them, they'll dang sure know they're your customer. If I have a hard time with that, you know, and that's what you're doing, is you're securing that relationship by getting involved with them. I think that's hugely important, you know, not only about business, but making them, they were cold market. The idea is to make them your warm market. And by doing things like you're doing, Gloria, reaching out to them, giving them advice, checking in, not just about business, but about life, that's what's going to keep those customers around. Or even if they don't order for 6 months, they're going to be like, oh yeah, that Gloria, she made an impact in my life in some way, shape, or form. I'm ready to order now. I mean, I've had people, I've been doing this again, almost 6 years. I have people that are just now, they've known I'm here. They've known, you know what I mean? They're just now coming to me ready to order. You don't know what it's going to take for those people to decide they're ready to order, but building that relationship, you can't go wrong. That's huge.
Yeah, and with that being said, if you are there for them to help them place that order, you should be there for them through their journey, period. You've gotten that pay from them, but it's also our responsibility to ensure that they are having the success that they should be having, that we're promoting. You know, we all know that there's always someone with more commitment than another person, and that other person may need more encouragement than this other person, which is fine. But if we are there to help them through the process and how to place that order, where we're sending screenshots or videos or whatever that case may be, we should still be there for them afterwards and helping them to ensure that they are being successful while taking the product, because it works differently for every single one.
And that's our job. Like you said, it's not just about making the sale. The whole journey is our job, and that's what's going to keep people coming back. So do you have anything you want to close with, Gloria? I know you want to get busy. I'm sure that phone is blowing up.
Yeah.
Again, you guys, please show her some love, some appreciation. I hope you all got something out of this. I wanted her to share her story of where she came from just slinging some trial packs, making a little bit of fast cash, to, oh my goodness, this is a game changer for me. So I was like, Gloria, I have to have you on. I want you to share this. Maybe you're at this point. Maybe you've been at this point. Maybe you have someone on your team at this point. I hope, my goal is for someone to take some encouragement and inspiration out of this and to see where she's come and where she's going, and truly what a rock freaking star she is. So I hope you all loved Gloria as much as I do and appreciate her time. And like I said, I know she's pushing hard, so keep me updated. Do you have anything you want to close with, Gloria? One tip, one advice?
The main tip that I can tell you is have an open mind and open heart when someone is reaching out to you, trying to give you tips, advice on what they're doing. And have an open mindset and a growth mindset, which is really important. If we have a fixed mindset, we're not going to get anywhere, because we're not allowing someone to come in and teach us different things than what we should be doing or could be doing to make those ranks. I'm telling you, I have changed my mindset all the way around. I am teachable. If somebody comes to me and says, hey, you should do this, I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. If it doesn't work for me, then I move on to some other tips that I have learned. So just having an open mindset, encouraging those that need encouragement. If you need the encouragement like I did, is finding, like Alyssa says, a tribe that's going to just lift you up and take you with them. Although they're not benefiting from you, but they're taking you with them. I mean, let me just tell you, who the team that picked me up, they got me going at the end of the month, just because they're going and I'm like, okay, I want in this. I know that my team, you know, I want in it. I know my upline's not encouraging me, but I need somebody to follow suit and push forward, because at the end of it is really not about ranking. It's really about helping others get healthy, encouraging. You never know, you might get that hustler that you've been wanting to get. It's just going to take time. So again, I'm just going to pray for everyone in their business to get those go-getters, to get those hustlers, so you guys can just hopefully rank up and get where you need to get, because I'm aiming for that 2-star before August, because I want to be walking up that stage.
Yes, ma'am. I'm excited for you. You're coming for it. So thank you again, Gloria. I hope you all see what an amazing woman she is all the way around. She's awesome. So thank you, Gloria.
You're welcome.
Be posted, and we'll talk soon.
Bye, I want you to answer my messages. Bye.
Back to work. Thank you.